All right, we're going to go and take a deep look at your riding to see what kind of reoccurring themes we can notice through your snowboarding, and that will just help us dial in what we want to put our attention at and where we want to focus. So we'll look at this, and I'll do my best to not go and get too nitty gritty on each one of the details. For the fitness routine, I think what you're doing is already really good. Lessening it for winters, awesome. And then for actual like snowboard fitness, really anything goes. We don't need too much fitness for snowboarding. So what I'm going to do is instead of giving you like more hard exercises to do, weight training to do, and change it around that, whatever you're doing to get stronger is going to be plenty. My theory is just doing a little bit every day, every second day really helps, and snowboarding counts as a little bit. So I'll primarily focus my exercises and that stuff around building the movements needed to perform some of these snowboard mechanics instead of building the fitness, because with what you're doing right now, fitness isn't an issue. Now it's just about learning how to activate the muscles in the right way. So you'll be able to go and tell her what you're doing with that, but it shouldn't be too much to implicate. Like mostly maybe like 5 minutes, 2 minutes every here and there. Really simple stuff. My philosophy about all this stuff is consistency, mindfulness, instead of trying to like overdo it all in one go, because snowboarding takes a little bit of time to go and get things to really start coming to fruition. So let's go and start breaking these down. So this jump here, we can notice a couple of things happening, and we'll want to pay attention to this for later. First, your upper body's lean too far forward, so when you come and jump up, it's making it so your legs are kicking out this way. This could also be coming from your knees coming too far forward. And then the other thing I'm noticing with the jump is your upper body is coming and crouching down into it instead of just your legs getting pulled up. So we'll want to keep an eye on that takeoff and see if that's a reoccurring theme. But pretty solid jump, and looks like it shouldn't be too much to readjust. Here, classic reaching down for the grab too soon, so see how your upper body's dropping here. This is basically doing the exact same thing as absorbing the takeoff. Fine in some situations, but if we want to get a little bit more air, it's going to be problematic. This looks like a pretty flat landing, so honestly, not the worst thing you could have been doing here, and it got a good grab from it. Knee position looks good, upper body looks good. The only thing I don't like is see how your shoulders are now pointing straight. We sort of want these always pointed upwards. So that's coming from dropping the upper body instead of bringing the legs up. Backside 360. First of all, backside 360s on downhill steep pitches like this are nearly impossible. It looks like you are traversing sideways, but still, really hard trick. Pretty good leaving off at back foot, pretty good body position, coming around, counter rotation, just missing a little bit of that height. Pretty good though. We can see that the rotation is sort of getting stalled out here. See how immediately as you're taking off, your upper body's pulling back the other way? So you're not actually letting this rotation of a snap carry through for momentum. You're stalling it for a second there, and that's making you counter rotate, and that's why it's not really coming around. We'll pay attention to that and see if we can notice anything like that in the riding. So see for this frontside 180, how your arm starts down here and then you're throwing it actively up. We don't want to be using our arms to try generate rotation. Then activating counter rotation right away. Okay. Solid landing though. And everything's harder with a selfie stick, no doubt about it. Alright, here, upper body dropping towards that knees, coming up pressure. See here, instead of falling through the motion, upper body's coming and crunching downwards preemptively. This is a pretty good jump, I think. Good pressure off the tail, upper body maintaining hinge, not dropping down before. Nice, really good jump there. Again, upper body crunch a bit. So reoccurring theme on the frontside 180 of just not generating the rotation quite how we're supposed to. Yeah, Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll stall on this and just go into this frontside 180 with a body demo quick. So basically what's happening with this frontside 180 right now is as you're throwing it, you're coming and fully extending yourself like this, trying to throw up. And what happens here is now you're completely elongated and disconnected. So what you have to do from this situation is if you can't continue the rotation, it's not going to come around. So what you're doing is throwing into this position and then immediately try and counter rotate into that frontside 180. But what we actually want to be doing for a frontside 180 is keeping our upper body with this constant hinge and then keeping our shoulders at the same point, rotating through that motion. And then as we do that, we shift our weight to our back foot. So now we're in a loaded up position, and then we can stop up and rotate it all the way through. So basically what's happening right now is you're throwing, one sec, my hoodie's way too hot. I gotta change this thing. All right, so back on the frontside 180. Basically what we want to be doing for this is making sure whenever we do a jump, do a spin, our upper body isn't coming and actually extending. So if I'm doing like a frontside 360, I'm just letting my legs push out, but my upper body actually stays stationary. And then I'm just bringing my arms to shoulder level. So it looks like I'm throwing up, but really I'm just pushing with my legs and my upper body stays stationary. So here you're throwing up into your frontside 180 instead of just pushing into that back leg, and that's why you're getting disconnected. So that will be something that we want to cover in our training, no doubt, and I'm probably going to be pretty similar on the backside as well. So see here, upper body coming up, throwing, elongated. Look at how your core is actually bending back here. We lost the powerful hinge we're trying to maintain at all times when doing freestyle maneuvers. Backside 180. So for your backside 180s, there's just some misconception of how you're doing it. I know this is like a switch backside 180, so it's going to be a little more awkward. But notice how you're throwing your head over top of your shoulder. On a backside 180, this makes it really tough to like land it and will make it pretty unusable. So what we actually want to be doing on backside 180s is picking a point in front of us, keeping ourselves in this hinge position, and then having our eyes stay on it as we let our chest like rotate like this. And this makes it so as we pass that point, we can now just activate counter rotation really casually. So instead of thinking of the backside 180 where we're trying to jump up and look over our shoulder like this, instead we want to think of it as we're just spotting forward, and then as we go on past it, we're shifting towards our tail. Then as we're past it, we're upper bodies rotate like this, so that way we can just counter rotate it around. So yeah, we'll want to go and work on that backside drills as well, no doubt about it. Outside 360. So how you actually move and like your natural athleticism looks really good. You're just moving yourself out of like powerful positions a little bit. So for this tail press, like see how your whole upper body is like shifted to lean back like this? We always want our shoulders to be like level. So like sure, this is going to let us get over the tail a bit more, but it's going to make it so we're like really rounding and using a lot more muscles than we need to. So for a tail press, instead of going all the way back like this, instead we want to keep center here and just shift all of our weight towards our tail like this. See how I can get just as far over there and more because it's condensed lower, instead of trying to reach myself back like that. So it's little things like this with the upper body that's currently holding back your progression. And we can see it's not even getting you that much of a press. Upper body, See here how as you go and pump this, the upper body's sort of like rounding down into it. Pushing up, rounding. Yeah, okay. So this is very normal, and basically what's happening right now is your mechanics aren't quite streamlined, and you're sort of just using your upper body to go and rebalance, generate height. You're basically trying to use your upper body in situations that we shouldn't be using it. The upper body should basically only be used for stabilization and rebalancing, and all of our power and all of our generation should be happening from the lower body. So the upper body is to rebalance, preemptively position, but it isn't actually responsible for explosive movements. So here, what actually happens here? So here, pretty good takeoff position, but notice how as you're taking off, you're letting yourself crunch towards that back foot. And now if we draw a line for your body, you're now shifted all the way to that back foot, leaned over here, instead of having your upper body come forward. So as you come up, your weight is going to be slightly funked up, and that's making it so you're pulling and elongating your body now straight to try to get into this landing. See how this is making it so your center of balance is no longer over top of your board and it's sort of leaned, and then we don't have quite enough range of motion. And if we look at the shoulders, they're pointed this way instead of up. So from here, imagine trying to like squat down, getting onto your toe edge from this position, or heel edge from this position. It's not centered for balance. So that's why when you go and get this impact here, you're over here, and then it's trying to force you over here. So that's jumping yourself into a compromised position. And that's what we're seeing. You're going and jumping yourself into compromised positions, and we're going and seeing you going and compensating for that with your upper body. We'll go and speed up a little bit here. I was noticing a little bit on the rails, but similar things going on here. I'm pretty sure this translates into a back view. If not, I have a rail shot that I know is coming up here, so we won't talk about it. Yeah. So on this backside board slide, your legs are just way too extended and your upper body is way too tall in order to go and maintain enough weight over the balls of your feet and the center of balance over your front foot. And because of this, when you try to shifty it out, it's going and rotating you slightly towards your heels. Like if we draw a line in here, we can see it's not over the toes. So how do we actually do a backside board slide? We actually want to keep ourselves super bent, super crouched, shift onto that back foot, and then we go jump off that back foot, shift our weight onto our front foot, then kick it out. So it's like taking a step. We're on our back foot, coming up, stepping on our front foot, kicking it out. Backside 50-50, coming up, stepping on the rail, then counter-rotating it out. So we maintain the same upper body hinge the whole time, same center of balance, shift a little more on the heels, heel pressure. Now we go lift up our front foot, place it onto the rail, counter-rotate it, boom, backside board slide, same center of balance, orientate over the front foot. We're stepping onto the rail, then counter-rotating, instead of going into like this tall stance. Like, imagine having this much bend in your legs, this tall legs, and trying to step onto a staircase or a rail with this position. It's not going to work. So we're going to need to work on getting a lot more range of motion available to you in order to go and get these rails feeling more comfortable. So see here, you activate more counter rotation, but when you do, it shifts your weight more towards your heel edge. And you're not able to get that full rotation throughout your snowboard. Just normal with over leg extension. Reaching down a little bit early. Man, I have like exactly the same fit. Do we have the same fit? I don't know. I don't use it anymore because it didn't fit my hips quite right, but I think we have the same fit. That's awesome. So here, see how before you're at the end of the lip, collapsing down in towards that grab, and as you're collapsing, what's happening? Shifting your weight away from your snowboard. Shoulders level, not a controllable position. Think about like having a heavy weight on your shoulders here and trying to go and stand up and crouch down into this position. Not possible, right? So I can only demonstrate this a little bit because I have like this sickness right now and it really messed up my back. But basically when you're squatting right now, you're coming and letting yourself crunch down like this. Instead of just having the hips naturally go back, keeping the upper body in the same angle. See how different that is versus that? So this is like the movement you're doing on every jump versus this. Because we want this straight vertical movement when we're going up and down, not this movement when we're jumping, because that's going to be throwing off all of our dynamics. But good news for you is I've been helping a lot of people with these same issues, so I think I got it pretty down to a science on how we can go and level this up. Mhm. Shoulders angled downwards instead of being up level. This means that you're breaking up the waist a little bit. That's going to shift your weight a little bit too far away from your snowboard. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then when you go and switch to your heels, see how you're now like leaning into your heel edge instead of squatting more into your heel edge? Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, so recap. You're super confident charging. I can tell that you spent a lot of time on your snowboard. Your issue right now is you're using your upper body to rebalance and you're activating your upper body to go and help you get rotations, jumps, all these things that the upper body shouldn't be doing. So our strategy is going to be going and tackling snowboarding from the ground up again. So working on that heel edge position, toe edge position, unlocking that full vertical range of motion, then unlocking the ability to shift from one foot to the other, then get rotation, and then we'll start combining that into trick principles. What I'm going to do now is write this out to you, sending you this video, and I'll send you some relevant training videos. And if I'm missing any that I think would be useful for you, I will make you some once I'm feeling a little bit better. Like I said, my back is just messed up right now, so I can't really demonstrate things exactly how I'd want to be doing it.